Chronicles of the Wolf is a heartfelt and very bloody love letter to Symphony of the Night and Metroidvania design. And while the game may not do anything that goes above and beyond, it's still a very well executed take on the genre. We play as Mateo, who is a trainee in an order that is out there to stop evil. He has been sent to the countryside in order to battle a giant werewolf that's terrorizing the land. But there's a lot more at stake here, as he will have to jump, double jump, and even triple jump his way to solving this mystery. As I said in the stinger, Chronicles of the Wolf is very much a classically designed Metroidvania, or should I say more on the Igavania side. You will, of course, find lots of gear, level up, and explore a very wide space, trying to figure out where you're supposed to go next. I do love the music, and the art style definitely kind of like evokes almost like the Genesis style, with like very large sprites on the screen. Now, for our gameplay, again, you're going to be doing all the Metroidvania that you've come to know. Each area is chock full of secrets, enemies, bosses, and the upgrades that you will need to progress. What's interesting about Chronicles is that it is essentially split between two distinct halves. The first half takes place in the countryside, and this is where you'll be exploring the very wide open areas, and then the back half takes place in the bad guy's big castle, and is where kind of the Symphony of the Night comparisons begin. The first half, I would say, surprisingly enough, is the weaker of the two. The countryside is massive, and there's only 3 checkpoints, one split into each one of the areas, so expect to do a lot of backtracking, or should I say backsliding, around. And there's also a ton of death traps all throughout this game, and you're going to have to probably fall into quite a few of them, both in and outside of the castle. You'll be acquiring different spirits, which act as kind of your magic spells, and they'll do a lot from increasing your damage to having just a guaranteed heal, which is very important because enemies do a lot of damage, and you're going to be limited in terms of your ability to block said damage. The game controls very nicely. Once you get access to the enhanced jump and even air dash, there are some very solid platforming sections all around. In the back half, the game becomes more structured, as the castle itself acts as just one very large environment, complete with a central hub and far more fast travel spots. And I found this to be far more enjoyable, as you're not given, or it's not as hard to figure out where you're supposed to go, what you should be doing in the castle, compared to the countryside. And you'll be doing a lot of going from one end of the map, to then go to the other end of the map, then go somewhere else, in order to make use of different items or complete different side quests. I've seen complaints online about how health spongy some of the boss fights are, and my biggest advice, if you're having trouble, don't forget of kind of like your main weapon super spells. They do a ton of damage, and I found they can just easily melt through some of the larger health bars compared to your main weapon and sub-weapon combos. My other kind of set of complaints are more on the UI or kind of quality of life side. There are no volume sliders, the game does not allow you to mark anything on the map, and it definitely feels like a little bit rough in terms of the menuing. It takes like a little extra long than you might expect to go from menu to map and back to the main screen. And hopefully those more annoying issues will be fixed in a patch at some point. But like I said, Chronicles of the Wolf is not going to be the Metroidvania that moves the genre forward. If you're a fan of the Igavania style, then this is a very solid take on it, even with those slight problems and all. Chronicles of the Wolf was played with a press key provided by the developer. Limit to your game for a future stream and showcase. It doesn't have to be Metroidvania, Igavania, or any other Vania. Please get in touch. My latest game design book is on Metroidvania design, and we have a massive 2-hour-long essay on the genre here on the channel. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see everyone for our next review and stream coming real soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.